Gather round. It's time for your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. Listen closely as your coaches discuss the culture, the economy, and the political scene, and how it affects your home and your real estate investments. Real Estate Chalk Talk is where you learn the science of buying and selling real estate and the art of living in your home. Your education begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, hittnergroup.com, Hittner Group. That's all one word, hittnergroup.com, 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000. Give us a ring-a-ling-a-ling. Be happy to have a chat with you about your real estate needs. And, of course, at first conversations with no cost and absolutely no obligation, hittnergroup.com. Okay, kids, we're coming into, what are we coming into? Middle of September, something like that. Not really coming into anything now. We're in.
No, we're in it.
In the fall market. When does daylight savings times come?
Sometime September.
Is it September or October?
I'm sure these guys will let you know, and every other company out there, you'll get 1,000 emails.
I'll get you a nice little thing.
You send something in the mail, costs you about $10,000 to mail everything out, tell
Make
people
sure
to turn their clocks
knows.
back.
Yeah.
Perfect. Can't wait.
It'd be great to get that.
My dog wakes me up at, she got me up this morning at 4:50.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
My rooster in the backyard's like just right about
that time, too.
about a half hour before the sun comes up.
Really?
So then when we fall back, I'm thinking, what's that mean? At 3:50 she's going to get me up?
Maybe.
I don't know if your dog's going to
staying
figure it out.
I'm not staying up at that time. All right, let's go through the numbers, kids.
All right.
We have, I got some statewide numbers here for kicks.
Okay.
New listings, statewide. That's Minnesota, Keith.
Not the 7-county metropolitan
Not the 7-county
area.
metropolitan. Statewide Minnesota. New listings for the year of our Lord 2025. Down 1.8%. Pending sales up 2.9%. Closed sales down 0.5%. Pending sales up, closed sales down. So there has been quite a bit of conversation all across the country and here too about
transactions falling apart.
Yep, That's exactly right. So that number really confirms that. Median sale price, $360 statewide. Now remember that includes Rochester, Duluth, and the Twin Cities, where 80% of the transactions are. Up 2.3%. That's your sales gain for the year, 2.3%. Days on market, 40, about the same as the metro. Percent of list price received. This is interesting, 97.9%.
Wow, so everything's selling under
initial
list price.
Yep, initial list price, which is, that's.
Does that take into consideration a price reduction, Keith?
Yes, it's the percent of sale from the
original list price.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's actually not bad.
Well,
right?
We're coming off where it was 110% a couple of years ago, so that's a significant decrease. Inventory up 4.7%. Month supply of inventory, 3 months supply of inventory. That's statewide. Now compare that to the Twin Cities, 7-county metropolitan area. We've got 8,000 homes on the market as of this today. And a year ago, it was 7,700, just a slight increase, 300 houses, roughly 3.7% increase. Numbers flowing through, hovering is just stable at that 850 to 900.
Really?
Yep, that's what it's going to be. About the same as it was a year ago. Actually, a little bit more than a year ago. About the same as it was 2 years ago. About the same as it was 3 years ago. I mean, we're in such a steady, normal market that it's nauseating.
What have you seen then for yourself personally with transactions falling apart?
I'll
ask you the same thing.
That's an interesting question. Let me think about that for a second. I've had, 2 transactions fall apart, same buyer. And the same thing. Went in, had the inspection, cold feet, pulled out. Next property, go in, have the inspection, cold feet, pulled out. So he's got like $1,000 in inspections on properties.
Is it because there's things on the inspection, Keith, that cause alarm, or just they got cold feet?
I think
You understand? You know what I mean?
For me, I think no, there was nothing on there that was alarming to me.
Okay.
And it's nothing that we hadn't talked about prior to the inspection.
Okay.
I just think that for some people in certain age brackets, the expectation of what they're going to get is unrealistic compared to the price point that they're at. And so then when they go in and have the inspection, and then the interest rates are up, so the payments are high, and they're like, holy crap, I'm going to do,
I think that was a bigger, for me, what I've noticed is that that's slowed down.
Yeah.
We haven't had as much kind of uneasy cancellations.
I agree.
People being uneasy about the overall purchase.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to hear what you say about that too, having pre-approvals out, trying to get deals. We're still seeing multiple offer situations with the good properties and attractive price points, and depending on the overall price point. I mean, I've seen multiple offers over $1 million, as well as we're looking for properties. And then of course when you're in the 300s and 400s looking for properties right around the median sales price, if it's a good, clean, move-in ready property, we're still seeing multiple offer situations. So. What do you think about the cancellations?
We're not seeing anything on appraisals. Appraisals are
appraisals
coming in
been great.
So that's been good all year. Where we see it fall apart is inspections is a big. I see that as just the out for everybody, right?
Right.
And during that period of time too, sometimes I think on our side of the table, people are saying, "Oh yeah, I got this, I got that, I have the money, I can do this," and then when they actually start putting it all together, they're like, "I don't. Yeah, They get nervous about the payment. They get nervous about something. And because they have that inspection period, they pull. So I think the inspection period is that, like, I want to see how this feels. I'm going to make sure everything's dialed in. Now, supposedly everybody has all their documentation in prior to ever making an offer, but that's not the reality sometimes. It's like, nope, I got this, I get this. Like, okay, let's get the property so we don't lose it. But then when they actually get it all tight, they're like, I just don't think I can, and then they pull down.
That's a really annoying scenario. You hope to have everything, in line.
So frustrating.
So we can go in and focus on the condition of the property, have the home inspection, and not have this financial piece looming out there. And it seems rates have been steady enough for that, right?
Yeah,
They're
rates
not
are good
as
enough.
volatile as they were last year and the year before.
No, rates are fine. Rates are fine. In the fourth segment, we'll talk a little bit about the Fed's decision this week and how that's impacted rates. And I'm going to just have them replay how right I was on everything I said.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
It'd be super fun for everybody to hear.
Because that was the first time.
First time ever.
20 years.
22 years.
Homes.com had a report that came out this week, too, and one thing that struck me about it was cash sales down.
Down?
Yeah. The cash sales historically were running about 30%. Were cash sales.
Seriously.
And it was down this year so far as 25%, which is nationally. But, I mean, that's pretty significant.
Do you guys see that? Do you think 30% of your business is cash?
I have a significant part of my business is cash.
Really?
Yeah.
Junior, you as well?
What I'm seeing a lot is help from relatives, because even in a market...
That was another one. That was another market that they had.
Even in a market right now where... you have buyers that are a little bit more discerning. You feel like you have more time to make decisions and things like this. We still want to go in, say you own a property for $400,000 and you're buying a $600,000 house. We still want to go in non-contingent if we can, because if it is a great home in that price point, depending on the community in and around, pick a suburb around the metro area, there's going to be multiple people interested in that property, or we just want to be able to negotiate and play ball, as opposed to going in with a contingent situation where you have to sell the previous house, saying, hey, I'll buy your home, but I have to sell mine first.
Yep.
And the sellers are a little bit less inclined to play ball and negotiate and, try to go through the transaction so you have a nice feeling and win-win situation on both sides, with having that matzo ball of we got to sell our house first.
Right. There's a lot.
So the point is, we're going to grandma and grandpa or mom and dad to help float some of that, or we're borrowing money from 401ks or IRAs to pull money out or borrow money from ourselves if we can to get the down payment going and take care of that situation so we can go in non-contingent. So playing with cash outside of just buying it cash and then financing it later, which is what a lot of people are doing too, and purchasing with
I think
cash.
that's a big part of it.
Yeah, borrowing money from hey, can I get my inheritance?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I get my inheritance early?
My youngest son just asked me that.
Borrowing. All right. Borrowing. That was an inside joke, but
Yeah.
you just made it for everybody. Borrowing money from grandma and grandpa, buying it cash, and then selling your other property, using that money to put down on a new loan on the property, and then giving the money back to, grandma and grandpa. So on that note, we have a lot of options for helping everybody get the transaction done. Give us a call. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. We're going to head out to break. The phone number is 612-627-8000. That phone number again is 612-627-8000. Or log on to our website, hittnergroup.com, HITTNER group.com. There you can check your value or search for properties, all online at hittnergroup.com. And we'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. 612-627-8000 is the number to call. We got Pam and Jen in the studio from My Girls House Cleaning. We're talking about the science of buying and selling real estate and the art of living in your home. And part of the art of living in your home is having a clean house. Mm-hmm. And that is something that is challenging to a lot of people to have a clean house. Let's just say
I like to have a clean house.
I like to have a clean house too, but some people don't. Messy. Okay, you talk about it. What's the difference between a clean house and a messy house?
Well, first of all, good morning and thanks for having us. There is a big difference between dirty and messy.
Okay.
Messy is just coming home, throwing things where they don't belong, and not having time to tidy things. And dirty is probably a couple of weeks to months of neglect. And with most homes, everyone's working. The last thing you want to do is come home and clean that house.
True.
Do you get satisfaction out of it? I'm a tactical guy. Touchy. I like the touch.
You're like a touchy-feely kind
I like
of a guy.
touchy-feely. Well, no, I mean it's just that's why you sell real estate.
Sounds great.
It's an object to sell. Building, I love the building, the construction, because it's a hands-on kind of a thing.
Hear ya.
And I get satisfaction out of that. It's just like getting satisfaction out of. I was telling Keith at Coffee Clutch, I cleaned my pool filters this week. And I must have told Sheila 4 times after I was done how happy I was that I cleaned my pool filters.
Good job, Dad.
Yeah, I mean, just because it was just something you could do, clean. They were nice and white when they went back in and all that. Is that the kind of satisfaction that you get out of your job? And then tell me about your service and how someone would get on board with the service and what that service entails.
Yeah, I guess I can take it away a little. We've actually rebranded, so now we're Exclusive Services by My Girls.
Okay.
And so with the rebrand, we now...
Exclusive Services.
Yes, correct. And with the rebrand, not only do we do residential, house cleaning, we also do organization and handyman services. And so that's to add value to our clients, because just like the home and the cleaning get behind, also the to-do list around the house, right?
Right.
Get behind as well. Yep. And then we clean homes, and so the next kind of piece is the organization, which is, going into the closets, which, the cleaning team doesn't do. So now we have that extra service as well. And so...
How often do you have to go in and do that? Is that something you do every 6 months, or is that
I guess
just random?
It depends because, right, you use your space, and so... The initial maybe organization service might be more extensive, but after that it's just kind of keeping it up. So it just depends. Okay. Some clients have us coming in weekly, some once a year. Really? Right. So it just depends.
Who would need you to come in weekly to organize them?
My wife.
For example, when you've got kiddos messing, specifically a client who's got a kiddo who play in their playroom, she wants that to be reorganized.
Yeah, it's a playroom / office. So can
maybe or closets, pantries. So the service is coming in and not necessarily doing the kid room unless that's what's needed, but what do you need organized today? So that's just another service outside of the cleaning.
What about the handyman service? What do you do there, and who do you have doing that?
So my brother, his name's Hiram. He comes from the construction background, and he's come on board he really runs that department. I wish I could tell you exactly all that he does, because he does a lot. He's done small things from just like changing light bulbs or higher things that maybe you don't
People
have
don't wanna
ladders.
get up.
Yeah, leaky this, squeaky that, things like that. He's also done bigger things like small remodels, putting in new doors, and so I feel like his list is
Everything.
yeah. He
Yeah.
and if he can't do it, I'm sure he's got people that he can recommend.
Is that who I met at the property
That
we
is.
had? Okay, so we had
Yeah.
them come out, bid out a property, did a great job, and super nice guy.
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
So the handyman service, that's such a challenge for us.
It's such a
'cause-
challenge because people don't want to get up and go, fix a door.
right, exactly.
It's all big stuff, and folks ask us all the time who can come do this, and we have a couple of services. But I was going to ask you, how busy is Hiram?
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's usually an individual and a couple of helpers or subs, and it's like these guys get busy so quick.
Yeah. The thing about it, though, I would love to say Hiram's free for everyone.
Yeah.
With our service, like the part that says exclusive is that he's before he does anything else, he's servicing our clients. So it's
Okay.
kind of that in-home.
Yeah.
Of course, as he has time in his schedule, then he'll go out.
So I have to be inside the club.
Exactly.
Right. So I have to get in the club before I can dance with the handyman.
Right.
See what's happening there.
So
Makes
it's a
sense.
concierge service first and foremost for your
Absolutely.
existing members,
Yeah.
and then beyond that, then you'll go outside to pick up extra,
Absolutely.
and that might be a lead source for cleaning later or
Right.
whatever.
Exactly.
So if I have a house that needs to be cleaned
Okay.
and also a house that needs to be organized on a continuing basis, would then the cleaning crew do the organizing when they come in and clean, or is it a separate?
Separate teams.
Okay.
Separate teams for sure. We could schedule it together. They could come in together, but the organization, it's just different training versus the house cleaning. So yeah, it could be all in one day or service, but different teams. Yeah.
How do you find these team members, and how many team members do you have? And
Yeah.
tell us about the bigger picture of.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my girls' house cleaning started with my mother and her girls, and I'm one of her daughters,
Okay.
and so it's evolved from there. And we were known for, I think, just the quality of service that we have, and also our training.
Okay.
And so now, of course, we're not in the fields, and we've got teams. It depends on, I guess, the season we're in as far
Okay.
as how many crews we have going.
Okay.
But yeah, I think just like you were saying earlier about the satisfaction, our teams definitely love to clean, and there's a lot of satisfaction there. And then with the organization, of course, then that's just a different hiring process, or a different, what am I trying to say, training
Kind of
process.
training,
Yeah. So yeah, it varies depending on our seasons.
Yeah.
And
And how many people you need? Is
yeah.
it hard to find people right now to work or not?
no, I would say no.
Okay.
Maybe ask us maybe 3 years ago or
Mhm.
5 years ago.
Really?
Maybe that was a different story, but now like we've got people waiting to come on board to work for
Wow.
us, which is, I feel
That feels good, right?
yeah, and it says something, I think, about our company, and it says the values and the
Mhm.
management team. My mother, well, it's some of her kids that are in the management roles, and so I think that just says, it says a lot about our company.
Mhm.
And my mother raised us right, and we're definitely always trying to be exceptional humans in
Right.
all avenues, and that goes with management and how we're running, the company. So
That's cool.
Yeah, I wanted
great.
to say one little thing to add to what she said. One thing I learned a long time ago is that your employees are your bread and butter. And I feel like by pouring into them and their communities, their home life, their families, and really understanding their needs and how you can serve them and protect them and provide a safe and happy and very clean, organized, and respectful. We always have little surprises, different meals or dinners that we provide, or different things that we do. One of our clients, their home burnt down, and we got together real quick and put out an email to our clients, and we came together to help, as a community. And I feel like by pouring into our employees, they in return pour into our clients, who in return pour into us, myself and the management team, who in return pour into our employees. So I feel like that was the secret sauce, understanding that we take it for granted that we'll just replace them. There's plenty of people that want a job, but truly that's not the case, because you need to take the time to get to know them, understand them, trust them, vet them, train them, and then really build those relationships. And a lot of our employees we've had for over 15 years,
Yeah.
and their loyalty to being treated and respected, and we put them in safe environments. As my daughter mentioned, when we first started the company, I had my 5 daughters working for me, and I made a decision wherever my daughters could not work and go, and a job we would turn down, whether it was safe or whatever it was. If I wasn't comfortable with that, then I would put nobody in there, and we would turn the job away. So I think that is the secret sauce too. I'm a mother of 9, and I'm a big mama to all of my employees, and I think that's one of our secret sauces.
So how does that work then? Because that sounds wonderful in terms of retention. Do you have a turnover? I mean, all companies have turnovers, but what kind of a turnover do you have? And then do you have people who are leaving you and then starting their own business?
No, our turnover is kind of small. We do most of our, in fact, well, there's a few husband and wife that work together teams, but most of our employees are women. They take maternity leave.
Okay.
So we take good care of them for that. So that happens a lot. But other than that, our turnover is really small. So
Yeah. I think maybe once or twice have I heard back in the day of somebody starting a company,
it never worked though.
but I don't know. Didn't
You guys
follow
have
that.
you guys
Right.
have a great little circle of trust and love within your companies and your clients and your
Absolutely.
employees. It sounds like.
Yeah, and
So
there's so much work out there. We can't do it all.
Yeah.
we're gonna head out to break. We'll talk a little bit more when we return. Website's still the same. MyGirlsCleaning.com.
Correct.
Exclusive services by MyGirls. MyGirlsCleaning.com. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. We're going to head out to break. 612-627-8000. That number again is 612-627-8000. Visit us online at HittnerGroup.com, and we'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. HittnerGroup.com. HITTNER Group.com. 612-627-8000. Love to hear from you. Give us a ring-a-ling-a-ling. We'll chat about making a move either this fall or next spring, getting your house ready to go on the market. Part of getting the house ready to go on the market is get it cleaned up.
Right.
No one wants to buy someone else's dirt.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You got to get it clean.
Depending on the price point, of course.
Even then,
No,
around the
not anymore.
got to get down there and scrub around the toilets and get the bathrooms, especially. They got to be diamond clean.
How do you price, before you go into anything,
Okay.
how do you price out homes? Is it based on square footage? Is it based on bedroom, baths? How do you base pricing? Because sometimes people ask, like, oh, I wonder what it costs to clean, have my house clean. And
Yeah.
does it?
What we price based off, I guess, each job. Of course, the size and bathrooms, all of that plays a part. We don't have like a set. It's more based off, It's based
So
off
do you-
a bunch of things, I guess.
Okay,
I
so
should
do you
say
have
that.
to come in and view the home before
Yeah,
you can
we do.
price it? Okay.
We do free in-home estimates, or we could even do an over the phone and give you a ballpark.
Okay.
But it's very ballpark because you go into a house that's
I know.
3,500 square feet, and one of them's going to take you 4 hours to clean.
Yeah.
The other one's going to take 2
Yeah.
days. Just
So it really depends per
2 days.
per
2 days. That's tough.
I have
Per
another
job,
question on
for
the
sure.
cleaning. Are most people picking up before they come, or is it pretty?
We suggest that
Yeah,
always
100%.
because
you can't
you
clean
know,
around clutter.
I mean, or we just like spend the whole time trying to
move stuff.
move
around.
stuff, and it's
Right.
like, what are we actually then getting to? So we highly encourage every time like pick up before. So yeah, that's the best case, the best
My
bang for your
favorite-
buck
it's
in a
my
way.
favorite thing.
Yeah.
So Pam's written a memoir,
Correct.
and we're going to talk about that in a second. Before we get to that, though, because I know my wife's going to ask, what products do you use to clean? Because she's like an organic girl, so she wants no poison in the house, no high toxic chemicals. She wants everything organic, even to the point where she was saying, use my stuff because I don't want you using your stuff because you're going to
Absolutely.
kill my dogs. How many
dogs do you kill a year?
Yeah,
That's
how many
what-
dogs?
Yeah.
How many dogs do you kill a year?
Funny.
Any cats? So how
We
do you
definitely
accom-
accommodate that. We always give our client the option that for us to use their products. Over the years, we've fine tuned. We the only like scent that we're using is something called Myers, and so we are very like hesitant to use something that's super aggressive when it comes to scents. All of our other products are Ecolab. So yeah, we give our client the option because I mean I myself am the same. I
Yeah.
like what are you using? So we give them that option. But we try to keep very mild things, nothing too aggressive, but yeah, that's definitely a top question we get.
Okay.
So we're speaking with the girls from My Girls Cleaning. My Girls are exclusive services by My Girls.
Correct.
MyGirlsCleaning.com. Family business.
Correct.
You guys have been around for a long time. We haven't seen each other for like 12 years, so it's fun to have you back in the studio and get reacquainted. And since that time, you've written a book or what?
What's going on?
Yeah, so I wrote my memoir. I don't know how much you know of my story. We like to share my story with all of my clients,
Yeah.
so most of my clients know where I've come from. So I escaped a cult in Mexico 26 years ago, came to America with a $5 bill and 9 children, and I built I call
Hold
it-
on.
She couldn't get
You're
the
not
words out
gonna
fast
let me
enough.
No, hold on. We're in Mexico. We have 9. You have 9 children in Mexico.
Yeah, so I was married into a fundamentalist cult in Mexico
Okay.
at the age of 15.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting to say the least.
And
Okay, then you
so
escaped.
Yes, I did. I
Okay,
escaped
what-
back in.
what does that mean?
What's that look like?
What does that look like?
Yeah.
Well, you're looking at what
I
it
know.
looks
I know.
Okay.
I mean,
Like,
how
how'd
did
you get
that
out of it?
happen? I mean, how did that happen?
So many questions, so little time. You will find all the details in my book,
Okay.
but I escaped in the middle of the night. The prologue to my book talks about the escape and exactly, and had
The
I
detail.
prepared, I could have read a little bit of that to you today. But yeah, the fundamentalist belief was that I would be murdered if I tried to leave.
Okay.
So I left like a thief in the night, prepared to meet my maker. I had a little conversation with him and challenged him to take my life if that's what he was going to do. But until he did that, I would continue moving forward to give my children a better future. I'd come to the realization that if I stayed, I have 4 sons, and I have 4 of my ex-husbands, and I have 5 daughters, and there'd be 5 little girls like me, and that was too scary, and the risk was way too high. So I ran to America. I am an American citizen, and so are my children. So we escaped and came to America, landed in Utah. That's the only place I knew. And then a year later, came here to Minnesota.
Wow.
In the middle of winter, February,
Yes.
Great choice.
the most snow I've ever seen in my life.
So
Crazy.
then,
So how old
so
were
how-
your children at
Yeah.
the time?
Of the escape?
Yeah.
My oldest son was 17. He had just left home to Colorado. That was the practice of the cult, that the boys would go and make money and provide for the families. The families were huge. I am, just to give you a little insight, I am the 11th child to my father's 61 biological children.
wow.
So,
How
yes.
many? 61.
Yes. So my father had 61 biological children with
With how many wives?
6 different women.
Okay.
He was married 11 times, though. Anyway, so that was the practice of the cult. Yeah, I
We're not
know.
gonna get
Think
to
of
a
the
lot of
child
that.
support there.
Holy
There
crap.
was no child support.
No, there's child support in terms of children going out and getting jobs. And
There's
paying.
child
Correct.
labor.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
started
child
working
labor.
since we were little. Yeah.
Mhm. Wow.
It's a long story. It's a very intense, profound story, but it has a beautiful ending, which is up until right now. If I was to continue writing, I'd be sitting here in your beautiful studio for the second time. And I always tell everybody, don't worry, we know how it ends. So it's a beautiful story about healing internally, spiritually, and then financially becoming as successful as I am, or we are, I should say.
So when you came then to Minnesota, I mean, what was your skill set? How did you survive?
So I had a 5th grade education. So if that tells you my skill set, education was not something that women were to ever receive. So we were not to ever learn, read, or write. I was told by the father of my children that was vanity and of the devil, that a woman only needed to be able to have children, and as many as she could, and take care of the children. So I was not allowed to read or write. In fact, I tell the story that when I would become pregnant with my children, you know, as you prepare for, all of you are parents, you know, the gender, and you get the room ready and whatever else people plan for. What part of my planning was to go out in the dirt, because we didn't have paper and pencil, and sign my name in the dirt, because I was going to sign a legal document. And I never signed my name on anything. So I would sit out there and practice the handwriting that I'd remembered from when I had gone to school at the age of 10 and 11. And I'd practice Pamela Jones because I was getting ready to sign the birth certificate of this child that would come to the earth. And for a little while, my transcript was called to sign my name 9 times because you fast forward and I'm signing my name thousands of times on checks and everything else now. So that in itself can kind of demonstrate the story from nothing to where I am. People call it's a true rags to riches, but I say pigweed to caviar. I don't like caviar, but I ate a lot of pigweed.
So when you were, how old, is that cult still going on today?
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it's still going on.
It still goes on today. Did they try to get you back?
They are afraid of the authority in the United States, and once a woman or anybody becomes educated or smart enough to know that this is not all that they say it is, and you actually can get away, they lose a lot of their power. So once I left, women saw that God didn't smite me dead, first of all, and that I was actually blessed and I was able to become successful. Women and men left the cult right and left, and the cult is not near what it was when I was there.
So you came here. You're now in Minnesota. How long were you in Utah before you came to Minnesota?
I was there just 10 months.
Okay. Then what made you come to Minnesota?
My 2 older sons came to Minnesota back when the housing boom was going on, and all these houses were being built everywhere. So back in 2001, 2002. So my children came here, and they do construction. So they did all drywall and painting and all that. So I didn't want to be without them. So I followed behind them.
Okay.
And like she said, in February, I'd never seen so much snow in my life. My mailbox was dug out in the snowbank. I thought, where and how?
And then what made you decide to start this business and get involved in the business and build the business that you have today?
Well, house cleaning was something, I'm a perfectionist, and it's something I knew really well, and I was very efficient, especially raising 9 kids. You only have so many hours a day. I could get a lot done. So I started cleaning for a friend, and she paid me for that, and it took me a little while, and it was very easy for me to do. So I just started doing it as a side job just to supplement the income. My sons were working in building homes, and they were helping support the family. Part of the punishment if you leave the cult is you leave everything behind. You lose everything and you come with nothing. So that truly is how we got here. In my book, you'll hear about us dumpster diving for food and going to these old the stores and where the mattresses that people throw away. That's how I put the beds in for the kids, and can go on and on. Even when I think about it, I thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe all the things we did. But
what's the name of the book and where can they get it?
The name of the book is The Dirt Beneath Our Door, and it's right now everywhere that books are available. It's an Audible, it's a Kindle, and also hardcover. You can find it anywhere.
Amazing.
Certainly a story of inspiration. So search for that book. What's it called?
The Dirt Beneath Our Door.
The Dirt Beneath Our Door. When we come back, we'll have our final segment of Real Estate Chalk Talk, and we'll wrap up with My Girls. Exclusive services by My Girls, mygirlscleaning.com. Real Estate Chalk Talk, Real Estate Chalk Talk. We'll be right back.
Money in the bank.
Rates are good. Pretty exciting. You know why?
Right.
Free money. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, welcome back to the Big Money segment of the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, and we are with Calvin Kamick, ladies and gentlemen. 651-231-2500. That's the number to call for the great rates and the low cost to close.
Low cost to close, especially right now.
Super duper.
Money's cheap. So I was going to just have them replay last week when I told you what would happen this week, but I'm not going to have them do that because I want to talk to them more. But let's touch on the Fed meeting this week.
Okay.
So the Fed met and they lowered it by a quarter, which everyone anticipated, which is, people would think that's the news, but it's not really the news. There's something that's after that called the dot plot. Have you heard of that?
No.
DOT-PLOT, dot plot.
Okay.
And it's kind of a what they refer to it as. It's a
plot graph.
Yeah, it's a dot plot basically, like that, and it lines up where every Fed member anticipates where rates will be, where it should end, where it should be. So all these different factors, so it can kind of show like where's everything trending, and it was kind of a mixed bag, which is to be expected given the diversity that's on the Fed right now. But we got a quarter point, as I said last week. It was priced in already. I also mentioned last week that the last 3 times the Fed lowered rates, mortgage rates went up, and a headline this morning I was showing you said Fed cuts rates, mortgage rates rise, which is exactly what we said would happen. I think they'll settle in, though. Yesterday we saw the rates go up, come back down. Our company shut off the lock desk because the market was going away, so they're going to reprice. And then by the time they're done, the market swung the other way. They're like, never mind, So it was one of those days yesterday.
Do you think that the rates go up because this time because some people were actually hoping for or anticipating a half a point drop, and then when that didn't happen?
Yeah, some people were anticipating 50 basis points, but the consensus was on a quarter. The bigger issue is where do they anticipate, and do they anticipate more cuts yet this year?
They're
so
talking about two more.
Two more potentially, right? And then you look at the dot plot and kind of see where everybody lines up. So they anticipate. Powell was pretty cautious in his comments, saying, we haven't determined that we're going to do two. We're going to wait and see what the economic data comes out with. Last week on the economic data, we saw the jobs report come back very unfavorable, which helped rates get better, right? So when you think about interest rates, think about the fact, like, if the economy's doing poorly, rates are going down, right? The economy's doing great, rates tend to go up a little bit. So there's this, it's kind of like you want to keep your job, but you hope everyone else loses theirs, so rates get better,
right?
But I'm just kidding.
And then they can get their jobs again.
And then they can get their jobs. They're fine. They can go clean and do a lot of stuff. Organize, maybe the organizational team, whatever you have openings in right now. So anyway, so rates are fine. 6.25-ish, 6.5.
That's decent.
6.75. Yeah. All depends on credit, down payment, a lot of factors. Type of loan, all that kind of stuff. We've had some 5s. On FHA loans, we're in the 5s, so that's great as well. So anyway, rates are great. Let's have a conversation. 651-231-2500. But I want to transition back and talk. We're talking with My Girls Cleaning, talking about your memoir called The Dirt Beneath Our Door. Encourage everybody to go get that. I wrote that down. I didn't remember that, but I wrote it down. So tell us more. So your story, this is the most listened to segment of the show. So give just a background. I always say that. Give us a little bit about the company again. Give me an overview of what your because it's exclusive services. So touch on the services and what you do and how to contact you, and then I want to shift to Mom on she had some stuff going on earlier.
Yeah. Exclusive services, which I feel like is a mouthful to say by My Girls. We do residential cleaning, handyman, and organization services. Our website is mygirlscleaning.com. Unfortunately, I don't have the phone number memorized, but you can find us online. We do free in-home estimates. That's for all 3 services, and so.
And how fast can I get you out if I say, hey, I live in Woodbury, I want you to come take a look at my house and give me an estimate? And question number 1. Question number 2 is when you walk into the house and you go, oh, this is pretty clean, does that then change like how much,
Of course, the job, depending on how bad it is, changes the price, if that's what you're asking. Yeah. We're doing estimates all the time. And if you're looking for a quick turnover like tomorrow, then we would have to go based off a over-the-phone estimate.
Okay.
But yeah, we constantly have openings. We're ebbing and flowing all the time. We have teams on reserve to pull in if we do, need them. So.
Okay. It's something that I like because we come across stuff quite often. We go, hey, we need somebody out there to do a final clean, or we need somebody to do this or that.
That's 2 things. One of them is a one-off cleaning job.
Yeah, like for
putting a home on the market or a final clean for new construction or something like that. And the other one is, move-in clean. The other one is ongoing cleaning service, which are 2 really very different models.
Yeah.
What is your geographical area?
We're pretty much the metro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then with that, does it matter how many? I mean, I'm just trying to get in people for listening. I have 5 kids. I have 3 kids. I have 2 kids. Does that matter? Or is it basically, I've got 3 bathrooms. It doesn't matter how many people are using them.
We customize, for you. So it just depends. Depending on how many kids, depending on what's being used. One thing I think that sets us apart is that we do customize, and I think that way you're paying for what you want and your needs.
So exclusive services sounds expensive.
Exclusive
It
services
is.
by
I'm just
Mike.
checking.
It is expensive.
Is it expensive?
No.
I mean, I feel
It's definitely worth your money, and if you're just looking to get, it's a saying in Mexico, a cow lick. A cow come in and give it a lick, then don't call us.
Cow
Yeah.
lick, I like that.
And so it's just a saying I used back when I was raising the kids. You're not going to clean like a cow licked it in here. You got to do some cleaning.
yeah.
But it's definitely, I always think of this, that your home is the last horizon. That's the way I look at it, or frontier. With all the craziness going on in the world, and you invest this money into this home and to have safe products. And I believe that all of us carry a certain essence about ourselves. So if you're bringing in, very angry or different kind of people, that's going to affect how the walls get banged when they're
Yes.
vacuuming or whatever. So I feel like we really spend a lot of time on detail and attention to all that stuff, so that when you come home, you can feel not only that it's clean, but it's well cared for. And that is our claim to glory, I guess.
So the best place to start the process, probably the website nowadays,
Yes.
mygirlscleaning.com. Exclusive services by My Girls. A little bit of a mouthful, you're right.
Yeah.
Try to get it out, but I think we got it. Let's spend the last 3
I've got a
minutes
bunch
or
of
so
questions. So.
talking
Oh, wow.
about Pam's story. And
Yep. So continue on your story. You talked
my
about
gosh.
last segment. Just tell us, like, looking back now, right? So you got into the United States, 9 kids, 4 boys, 5 girls. Tell us about just the process of growing a business in spite. I mean,
Well,
I
there's so
I
many
can't grow
things.
a business, and I've got only 3 kids, and I was born here. It's like, so how do you do it?
Well, like to answer it this way, like it's like a math problem. When you're looking at numbers and someone says, oh, 2 plus 2 is 4, and you're really focused on, I have 2 oranges and 2 oranges, and you really focus on that, and then someone comes and says, but 9, and you're like, oh my God, how? It works the way 9 would work. I can't explain it like 3 sets of what you had in children or whatever. It doesn't
Yeah.
work that way. We worked well together. Very, your understanding and communication was great. And my determination is, I had a belief that it sounds cliche, but I had a belief I was created to do something more. And so I just kept doing the next logical step, whatever it was. And I never said no. And it was something that I felt, and I love this about cleaning and about myself, about my story or whatever. I love the opportunity to come into people's homes and to leave it in a better situation. Obviously, I got paid for that. But above and beyond that, I could change people's lives a little bit. So that's kind of in my story. My story is huge. There's no way we could finish, or even I could give you.
Talk about the different places that you've been interviewed and stuff like that. That's pretty amazing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
super cool, right?
It's been a week.
Now I know why it was so hard to get a hold of Pam. Like, hey, I talked about, like, I don't know, we talk to my people. My people can talk to your people. Like, good Lord, I'm just trying to get a hold of Pam, seeing if she'd like to chat.
Last time you just picked up the phone and I answered.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, I'm a smart
Yeah.
business. I
Yeah.
make sure you have to go
The
through
velvet
a lot.
rope. The velvet rope.
The
I couldn't
velvet
get to
rope.
her. I had to go through layers of people.
Oh, not to mention I just turned 60, so we had a lot of that going on. Had a new grandbaby born. My book dropped and my birthday all within the same day. Not to mention in that week
That's
I had
awesome.
Star Tribune, People's Magazine, Elle Magazine. I'm probably missing a few others. So it's just been really, really crazy. Not to
New York
mention the
Post.
emotional roller coaster of actually closing the door on a very difficult era of my life, and yet to see where I'm at today. And I just
What do you mean by that, closing the door? 'Cause-
closing the door while I wrote my memoir,
Okay,
and
that
closing the
was-
door to all that past,
Okay.
and being able to say I did it, I'm done, and now
Mhm.
everybody knows. And it really is, you guys are not going to get it. It's like putting your legs up in a stirrup, and the whole world's looking in, and you're like, okay, that's how I feel. I
Keith,
know.
Last night, actually, Keith was in the stirrup, and it was really weird. But on that,
We
we're
have
gonna
30
play.
seconds left in the show. And I just want to thank you girls for coming in. We haven't seen you for a long time, so I appreciate seeing your faces again. I learned a lot. You guys are fantastic. MyGirlsCleaning.com, exclusive services by My Girls. And then if you can, pick up the book. And
The Dirt
book
Beneath
is
Our
The
Door.
Dirt Beneath Our Doors. I have the prologue here. I'm definitely going to read it.
Yeah.
The Dirt Beneath Our Doors. Google it, and The Dirt Beneath Our Door, and you'll find it. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. That's it for this week. Thanks
That's
so much
super
for
cool.
coming in.
All right.